Figure I'll give you guys one more cold start. It's the next day here. It's even colder today. It's negative 15 or negative 16, I think. Beautiful. That's a great noise. Whatever pulley is making that noise. Yeah, poor thing. I don't know where this will end up, but we're looking to put the spare tire under the 05, and I kind of remember this now, but I went to do it. Worked so hard to get that thing to release because it had been sitting. Realized that it was missing the spring here, so we popped this guy loose. So what that does is that holds this in here, so it locks the tire from falling if the mechanism fails. Anyway, there's supposed to be a spring here, so when this spins, it clicks this and pulls this back. Anyway, it didn't, so we popped it out, pulled this down, only to realize that at some point, I think my dad cut the piece off to get the spare tire out at some point. And then, you know, that's what it was. So, okay, I was like, okay, I'll go remove it. So you remove those two bolts, and then you go to these two bolts, and they're like the little metal clip nuts. Anyway, the clip nuts are broke because, you know, why wouldn't they be? So we cut the clip nuts out, got those two out, which those are threads that are, you know, built into the metal. Oh, anyway. So we got them cut out here. So now I'm going to cut the bolts off flush now that the thing's out of the way. As you can see, that's what they all should have been, and not this. But whatever. Thanks, Chrysler. Anyway, we'll get those out. I do happen to have one. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go to the junkyard and actually get one. Wait, I thought of this 4 years ago. I have one of those sitting on the shelf, so I have one. I pulled it out. I just got to make sure it releases still, but it was indoor. It should be fine. And then we'll find two new clip nuts, and then new bolts, and then we'll put the new one up, put this beautiful spare tire up, and we'll be good to go. There we go. New to the van clip nuts are in. I think those are off the wood grain 94 Town & Country. They were in the pile of bolts from it. And then, obviously, the new to it tire holder, I've got it released. As you can see, it's got that little arm there. So when that thing spins left, it pulls that guy out, drops this down, and then we're good to go. So I'm going to lower it all the way down, go get a can of fluid film, spray the piss out of it, and we'll get this tire up underneath it, and then it's all done. And that's cool. So, you know, there you go. And bam, we have a full-size spare up under the 05 Chrysler Town & Country. Good, that'll be useful. Well, hopefully it won't be. Hopefully we don't need that ever. Okay, we're looking at the 05 here, and I just got home from work here, and I noticed a belt squeal. So, you know, I'm doing this, and I'm just kind of checking to see what's up here, right? I don't really see anything. It just might be water. It's really wet outside. But I'm looking here, and I'm looking, and I just see this. See that? Look at this. Bruh, the plug is loose. These ones are all fine. I guess I could check how the back ones look. Here, let me feel back here. You can kind of reach back here. That one's good. That one's okay. Can I get at this front one? Oh, see if I get my right hand back here. No, and he's fine too. Yeah, this fucking plug is loose. What the fuck? I wonder how long that's been like that. I suppose the only thing keeping it from backing out is the fact that it's adhered to the wire. That's crazy. All right, well, I'll tighten that up. Well, isn't that just nice? Bastard. Figure we might as well inspect it since we got it loose anyway. Looks pretty good. If I can. It's getting a little wore, but it looks okay. I don't know what's the plug gap on these. Does it say anywhere? 50-inch gap. I better check that. That's probably a little wide and re-gap it. So, hell, I might as well do them all then, right? So I'll go get a gapper and I'll at least check it, and then I'll probably re-gap it, and then we'll snug it back down. Then maybe I'll see if the other ones come off. I think the wires stand a better chance since I can twist better because the plugs are tight, unlike this one. So, and I probably got a spare wire somewhere to replace this one. Interesting, huh? All right, we said 50 thou. Look at the gap on that. That's over 20 thousandths out. You know, that makes me want to check all the other plugs and then probably go get a set of plugs and wires. I found a wire. It's a 3rd gen wire, so it's but it's the right length, so it would work. So we got a new coil pack. I mean, it must be a strong coil pack because it's firing that. Oh boy. Yeah, that makes me want to check the rest. I'm pretty sure I've done plugs on this. Like, well, obviously that's obviously happened. I'm trying to, like, by I've done them, I mean like in the last 5 years. The '08, which has got 440 on it now, 448 on it now. I did those plugs at like 395 right before it got wrecked for the second time. And I did these like not long after, time period wise. So that would be like 7 or 8 years ago though. Yeah, they've been in there a while because of the leaking valve covers, as you can see. If they don't look new. So if that was the case, this was probably done. There's no way I did them though, because that's like really wore for what it is. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna pull the other front too. And if I break the wires, I'm getting a set of wires for it. And if I'm going to get a set of wires, I might as well throw a set of plugs in it. Hell, maybe I lied, or maybe I don't remember. This is number 6, and he's more wore than number 3 was. Clearly, I am very, 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 very mistaken on the plugs being done on this. This poor thing, we have definitely forgot to do plugs. It has not happened in a long time. Yeah, so I pulled out number 5 here. Number 5 is by far the most wore out plug. It is at 85 thou, just 35 out. And she's not the worst plug I've ever seen as far as wear, but it's definitely getting there. And what I probably should do, I know we've done this belt because it literally blew across the road from O'Reilly on me and my dad like 6 or 7 years ago. And I've had it off before because I did this alternator in 21 and the EGR as well. I should probably pop the belt off because it was squealing and look at it and then like check the idler pulleys and the tensioner and stuff. I know the water pump wobbles a little bit, but I'm kind of waiting until it goes. Okay, so like they're all like different. This is probably the nicest plug, number 3. Second is number 2. Second is number 2, but number 3 is probably the nicest plug. It's still 75 thou out, but you can actually read it here. It's Champion RE14PLP5 is what's in it. They're all not quite the same, which is obviously an indicator of a very healthy, very healthy motor. All the cylinders are operating the same, it's perfect. Nothing wrong here. They're not that bad. They're not oil soaked or anything. They're all firing. They're just, different firing, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to get 6 new plugs, 6 new wires. We'll get them gapped to 50 thousandths. We'll get them all swapped in, tightened down proper. And maybe she'll run a little better. To be fair, it ran fine. It runs fine. I drove it. It's still hot from driving it home from work, which is really nice working here because it's like 30-something degrees and I'm actually like warm, because I'm just in a sweatshirt here, but, All right, I guess we'll take Beetroot to go get plugs and wires. Well, we're back. Got the cheap set of wires. Cheap. And got the same plugs that came out of it. Double Platinum Champions. That's what they had on hand. That was ready to go. That's the OE recommended, quote unquote. So that's what we'll throw in there. They're a million miles better than those Champion plugs. All right. All 6 shiny new plugs are in. Got them all tightened down. Now it's just to run the wires. These are easy since these are the OEM wires. I could tell what goes to what. And it should be 2, 4, 6, and then it should be, I think, 315 or 315. Here, I'll tell us right now. I'll tell us which way it is right now. This one should tell me on it somewhere. Right? 3. So 315. 246 315. Well, I've got a new experience for you that I haven't dealt with on a 3.3 before. So something else I was doing here is I was getting ready to do that. I checked the coolant and the oil. That all looked great. I haven't had that oil this in a little while anyway, which is great. So the leak has, it's created its own gasket, I would say. Anyway, you see something funny? Right there. See that? So something I noticed here, if you look really, really, really closely, you see that little like gap right there between the oil. It's like that. There's definitely a gap there, and I've noticed it before. And I was looking at it, I'm like, bet you that exhaust bolt's come a little loose. So I went to go tighten it, right? And I was like, oh, this is really loose. And I think it maybe spun a little bit because I think it is loose. But then it immediately went snap. And look how rusty it is. It was ready to let go. It's been cracked for a long time. It's like, oh, great. So I definitely better try the rest. So I tried the rest. And that one tightened up. That one, I think, moved an inch or just a hair. That one was tight. That one was tight. That one moved a little bit and tightened up. But now we've got that to deal with. Now, the good thing is it's not broke off flush. So all I got to do is pull the manifold off and then get a vice grip on it. And I think it's loose. So I think it'll actually just come out. But I've never... This is like Chevy 350 stuff, or Vortec engines. This is like Chevy. This is Chevy's problems. I'm gonna put this in it, and then I'll bring you back, and we'll fire it up, and then we're gonna read the engine codes and see if it's still just the catalytic converter code, and then we're gonna clear all the codes now that we've done a tune-up on it, and see if maybe that just helps a little bit, And I bet you I'll be getting some better fuel mileage too, because now they're gapped right, they're brand new. Everything on the ignition system is new, so complete tune-up, all done, which is nice. Alright, set this down there, turn that on. Alright, let's see if she fires up. We're at, if we do that for you, 322, 837. Here, we'll just leave that, sorry. Leave that right there for you guys. We're cold, I think. I don't know, let's find out. Plenty of gas in it. I think I still hear that squeak. Which is what I came in here for. What do you think that is? Here, let's get under here and look. What you doing? Is it that water pump pulley? See that? So this is what I was talking about. That water pump pulley is wobbling. And I think she's getting closer to giving out here. Yeah, I've been kind of... No, I knew it was starting to wobble, but now it's like really wobbling. But hey, this motor's running smooth as can be. I think that's definitely an improvement on the running of it. But I think she's telling us it's time. I do believe that is, it's getting loose enough that it's squeaking the belt, so I'm gonna have to get ready to start doing that, at least start thinking about doing it. So what we need, I've replaced this front motor mount already, so that's good to go. Obviously we've done the plugs. We just need to take the manifold off and put a new bolt in. Probably do this motor mount, because I don't think, I've never done it. I'll look at it first and I'll see. But I've got both new pulleys. I've got a new tensioner, new idler. I'll buy another new belt. This alternator's good. And I've got the timing cover gasket still, I checked. I've got the front main seal still, I checked. I still have the valve cover gaskets. I think I have most of the intake set. I think I robbed it for some parts at one point. And that squeak just went away. Nah, it's coming back. It's kind of like oscillating, that pump. So I need to make sure I got all the intake gaskets still. And make sure I got a thermostat and everything. And then I think I want to replace the lower hose going to the water pump. That hose is pretty rotten looking. Or not the hose, the pipe. There's a pipe that's down there. That's unboltable. That's a replacement part. You can get a Dorman piece for that. So... Oh, and I have a new oil pump for it, actually. I was going to do the oil pump at 300 and whatever thousand. While we have the cover off, let's replace that oil pump while we're in there. All right, here we go. My camera is, like, not happy. Look at all the codes we have. Holy crap. Yeah. Oh, bruh. This poor van. I've just been kind of driving it with the check engine light. I've been ignoring it. Yeah, PO420, we know. Evap system, very small leak. Good to know. 420, we know. Okay, these are all the same. Cylinder 1 misfire detected. Okay, yeah, bad plug. I could see that. PO 420. 456. 522. Engine oil pressure circuit low voltage. That was when I replaced. That's a stored code. So, yeah, these are all stored codes. Pending misfire. Okay. Stored. This I fixed. I fixed that. The sensor went bad. I replaced it like a couple months ago. Yep. Number 1. Driver squib circuit. Oh. Because before it was definitely the passenger side, if I recall. Maybe I just need to do a driver airbag. First row driver seat belt sensors shorted together. What? That's new. Loss of ignition. Active. Run start. That's weird. Driver squib circuit. Short to battery. This is like, last time I did this, it was a squib circuit. And I'm pretty sure it was the passenger airbag from what I remember. I haven't ran the codes on this in a long time. This is all new stuff. Okay. Well, let's erase and let's see what comes back. So we got a couple things to fix here. Loss of ignition, run start. That's weird that that's active. That's the only code on it, actually. So the squib circuit went out, but that might come back, like immediately. So we'll turn key off, key on. Check engine lights out. Airbag light flashes, it's on. So we got a door light and a seatbelt light. The seatbelt, the funny is it works because it goes out when I buckle up. So now what we'll do is we'll reread codes. That is the only code active. Loss of ignition, run start. Interesting, like the squib circuit went away, like the squib circuit issue went away, and it's that. What does that mean? Interesting, I'll have to look that up quick. So it's an electrical issue. So what it says is when you go to run versus start, there's supposed to be 2 wire electrical feeds, and apparently one of them is missing, or something like that. So the airbag computer has power, so it turns on, but it notices that it's not getting an electrical feed from so-and-so. So that could be a number of things. Something bad on the fuse panel, something bad up on one of the control modules. I don't know. Interesting. It's something to think about anyway. So maybe I can kill that airbag light yet, or the bulb will burn out. One of the two. But hopefully I can cure that. I did look into it one time. I was looking at like the grounds down here and everything seemed fine as far as that went. But that was when it was still showing squib circuit. I thought it was that. I swear. But this was like I said, this was years ago. So now we know that's what it's up to date. That's the only code in the system is loss of run start signal. So whatever, it's good to go for now. I'm going to drive it to work tomorrow. Hopefully the water pump holds in. And then I'm going to start thinking about, well, first I want to get another, I've got the Beetroot, the 94, but I want to get another one of the vans up and running. And at this point, if we stop getting snow like randomly, like we've had all the snow gone and then all of a sudden we got dumped on again. It's, it's April now. A couple weeks, we've also been getting a lot of rain, so a couple more weeks of just some, rain and no snow, no salt on the roads. Gray van could come out of hibernation, and then we can do this, because I want to have, this running plus 2 spares, because if I lose this and then I lose another one, I still got another one. You see what I'm saying? When you drive old vehicles, you have to drive 2 old vehicles, minimum. So I drive at least 3. That's what I try to do anyway. So, we're all good. Definitely made good progress here. We have definitely helped poor old van here. She was crying for help. She's still crying for help, but okay, get all the tools out of here, the flashlight, everything, and she's ready to go back to work tomorrow. Well, there it is. Check engine light just came on the way home from work, so we'll have to read that here in a little bit. We'll see what it is. Something I want to note though, that with the new plugs, this thing is getting way better fuel economy. So before it would top out at about what, just over 21 miles to the gallon. This morning it was at 26 when I was driving into work, and now that we're driving in rush hour on the way home, or we were, I should say, it went down a little bit, but it's going back up right now as I'm driving now. And I mean, I was cooking earlier. Right now we're doing 60, so the fuel mileage has definitely gone up by at least 3, probably closer to 4 or 5, which is nice. We'll see as I drive it more as this averages out, but it's significantly better, which is really nice. So I bet you we've got the evap leak back, but it could be that PO420. That's kind of been there intermittently for a while. So I'm ignoring it as long as it flows free. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Hey, look, our good old friend is back. PO420. Yay. All right. And then obviously we still got this. Okay, so it's getting pretty warm out. It's winter's over. So I'm looking to get old Gray Van the 93 pulled out, which means this old girl gets a break, gets put away in storage for now. So actually, before I did that, I figured, why not we clean out the whole van? We'll do a quick vacuum, which I've done. It's not perfect. It definitely needs a wipe down and a detail, but a vacuum and get all the stuff out is better than nothing. It definitely looks a lot better than it did. It was getting used. So there's right here's all the oils, and I just keep a rag in there. This is the box that we're gonna keep with the van. All this stuff over here is gonna, just in case the battery's dead, tools we're gonna transfer to Gray Van, and there's the fluids box for Gray Van. And then back here, got it all cleaned up. There's the floor mat for the driver's side, but I got the rubber one in, so I just keep it back here to keep this carpet clean. That's why this is here. And then I was doing some digging down in storage, and a couple of years ago, I got this when we got this headliner, because this headliner comes with the DVD player. So I grabbed this and the harness for it, and I grabbed the radio too, just in case, because I think this is it's actually a way nicer radio than mine. That's the original radio with the van. And this has got CD, cassette, and it's got adjusters on it and everything. I think it's a nicer radio. So that's the radio we'll probably switch if and when we get to this, because this will just slot in right there. And then it's got a harness that hooks it to the radio. And then there's a harness that goes from the back of the radio up to right here just below the A-pillar on the passenger side. And then the headliner's got a harness that goes just down the bottom of the A-pillar and plugs in. So I should be able to fish the wire through, and we should be able to hook it up, and then that would work in theory. But I figured I'd throw that box in here. But also, that was in that box, was this little trim piece here that I've been missing for years. And I've actually literally just had this trim piece in that box for years. Like, I went to the U-Pull, I brought all the stuff home, I threw it in a box, and then I never did anything with any of it, So that's cool. So we finally dug that box out. We at least did that. That looks a lot nicer there too, with that little plastic piece in. But I figured I'd give you guys a quick view of the old van. It's doing pretty good. The undercoating's doing really good, actually. The rockers look pretty good. Problem is my paint wasn't a great paint job, so I'll show you this after a whole winter. So what has happened is I didn't clean this surface well enough, and so the primers kind of come off, or the clears come off here, which only happened on this side, and I know it happened on this side because I didn't do any prep. At this stage, I was still doing a quick spray, and that was before I figured I was going as far into it as I was. And then what happened is my primer shrunk into the, what do you want to call it? Because I didn't do that good of a sanding job, and it kind of shrunk into it, and it's cracked. It's not a very good paint job, so it's very quickly turning into a 10-footer, which is okay. 10-footer here is a lot better than no metal there. I just wanted to give you guys an update on it. It definitely needs sanded down and done right again. Maybe. I don't know that it'll get that. It's lucky it got body panels again. But the welds all seem to look good. Everything looks good. It's covered. And most importantly, it's not rusting underneath here. So, the alignment is screwed, as you can see. I never got it aligned still. And what we've done is this $20 tire and wheel I put on here is pretty well getting bald here. So I need to get another tire and or rotate this one, but I'm not driving it right now, so I'm not worried about it. What I need to do is actually just go and get it aligned, or maybe, like, at the very least come in here and adjust the strut in and eyeball it a little better, because I did align the tie rods better so it's straight, but now it's just still tilted. But that's not ideal, but for 20 bucks it is what it is. I put like 5,000 or 6,000 miles on that tire, and that's what you get. This side's looking pretty good. The other three are looking pretty good. Doesn't have any shakes or wobbles in it. It drives great. So, and we're at 323,068. So for 6,000 miles on $20 tire, I'm not mad. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for the 05. So thank you guys for watching. As you always do. Hope you guys enjoyed the 05 Town & Country. It'll be back at some point. It'll be in the background as usual. All right, well, winter's over, so it's time to try wake Gray Van up here. And I just checked all the fluids and everything. I actually had to put the dash back together because I borrowed this switch, and just for testing purposes on the 93 Voyager, but I put this all back together. We're at 175,054, and it looks like I just gave it an oil change because it's due at 178. So it's got fresh oil in it. It's full. Everything's full. Power steering's a little low. Tires all look up on this side. Hey, how do the tires look on that side? Are they up? Should be.
Look good.
Nice. Okay. Figure. Hopefully the battery's got juice to it. I did unhook it. I think we got juice. All right. See if we can get that on there. That ought to do for now. All right. See if she'll fire up for the first time in what? 6 months, I think, at least. Something like it's not. I think 6 months. November. Got a fuel pump. Fires right up. That was easy. Checking lights. Fronts all look good. Rears.
Yep.
All good?
Yep.
Nice. All right. Everything looks good in here. Most importantly, does the radio work? Got to set all the presets, but it does work. Nice. Blowers work. Okay, everything seems to work. Wiper sprays. All right, let's get her pulled out here and back on the road. Man, look how shiny and clean that is. I'm an idiot. Apparently, I lost that sometime between yesterday and this morning. I heard the belt squeal and I popped the hood and found a bloodbath. Anyway, I got this Napa filter here, so, that's cool. Or, not filter, cap. I think it'll fit. Anyway, that was my temp fix and it seems to have worked. I have located the problem on the wiring for the Voyager here. So I had a weird hunch, and I remember noticing the blinker was stuck on when it quit, like it was turned to the left. I must have forgot to click it up. I don't remember if this one clicks off. Anyway, I also remember when I would drive it and have the wipers on, I would go to turn the blinker on and click the wipers, just intermittently, and it would kick the blinker off. And this is one of the circuits that isn't working. So there's something in here that's gone funny, and I unbolted this. Well, these are security bits. These are T20 security Torx, by the way. So I have this iFixit kit here with pliers to spin. I got the bottom one to spin off, but the top one was corroded and it snapped off actually, so that's nice. Anyway, I did this and I moved it, and guess what just clicked on? The fan went on to high. So I bet you the blinkers work now too. Yep. So there's something funny in here. I'll have to take this apart and see what it looks like. But that's it for sure. What's weird is that unplugging it doesn't, kill the blower motor, if you see. So I wonder if there's something grounding out inside of here. You know what I mean? I'm looking for rubbing wires. I don't see anything. But everything seems to be working now. So I don't quite understand what happened. Yeah, like I'm looking here and I don't see anything. But it's all of a sudden working. Which kind of doesn't isn't great, because what happens if it happens again? But it seems to be okay now. Granted, that looks really corroded in there, doesn't it? I'll see if I have one of these. Otherwise, I think we should invest in one, because I wonder if something funny is happening here and grounding out the power, which then kills power to other things. So I don't quite know. But yeah, this doesn't look good. See all the corrosion that was in here? That's why that bolt snapped off. But I'm looking at that board in there, and it just looks all kind of corroded and stuff. So I'll see if I have one of these. Otherwise, maybe we could take it apart and clean it. Some contact cleaner or something. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know how this is really working at all. Look how green and corroded this is. Also, I noticed that, see this on the bottom screw where there's that aluminum corrosion in between it? That's got to be like a grounding pin. Even though it worked when it was undone, I wonder if that certainly has got something to do with everything working properly. I would think so, right? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to clean all this up. I also think we can pull this back panel off, which hopefully I don't mess up how it's, in here, and all the little pins click and stuff for the whatever, you know what I'm saying. But I'll try to take that apart. I'm going to try to clean this all up with some contact cleaner and stuff. Maybe apply some new electric grease or something. We'll see. It looks like it's got grease on the pins and stuff, but we'll see what I can do. Well, I got it cleaned up, I think, put back together. Seems to work. So hopefully it works. Anyway, a self-tapper into the aluminum case at an angle seemed to be fitting. I had a vice grip on that piece there, and I was rocking it back and forth, and it snapped. So, and I couldn't drill through it because the drill bit would always want to peen off into the soft aluminum. So that's what we did, is we did that, and it's solid. It's in. If we turn the key on, blinker seems to work. Wipers are not working right now. Oh, there they go. Interesting. Well, now they're working. How about fan? Well, it's working for now. I have a feeling we'll be revisiting this. At least we know what's up. So I can put everything back together, and we know what to deal with. Airbag light is still on, it appears. Yeah. That appears to be another problem. Whatever. Deal with that another day. Or not. Well, I got it all put back together. I got the dash wiped down. Got the seats vacuumed. Got the front vacuumed. All that little paint debris and everything. So it's all cleaned up. Good to go. 156, 422. I am going to drive this one to work tomorrow now that we have fans that work. Radio still all works. Defrost works. Wipers work. Most importantly, blinkers work. Need to get a smiley face for that. So, there. Again, turnip is all done. So, I don't know where this is. Probably, I don't know if I even have any footage for this van. So, it's, I don't know where this will fall, but it'll be there. So, last time I parked this again, we're sitting at 156, 895. That stupid blinker thing came up again where the blinker stopped working, the heater stopped working and everything. And now I come out here to mess with it again, and it's working after sitting. Of course it is, right? Anyway, we're going to stick our fancy new tool on this thing. Whether we figure that part out or not, I think it's related to that. We're going to be able to read that code. I think. I'll bring you back here in a second. Turnip, meet DRB2. DRB2, meet turnip. Look at that. That is the cheapest working DRB2 scanner that I could find. Actually, it was listed as not working. I gambled. I gambled with a lot of money. Turn that on. I think should kick our little guy on here. Maybe. False alarm. There it goes. How many of you guys have seen one of these before? We got ourselves a super cartridge. So, I'm not too familiar with this thing. I did test it once just to power it on and make sure it would work, but I haven't actually learned how to use it yet. We're going to learn today because I want to read that airbag code. So I think you do up is down and down is up. Isn't that nice? I think we go enter. Oops, no we don't. This is back. So maybe enter, select system, engine, or do we want to, do we use body, ABS, system monitors? I think if I just do engine, I think I can read other codes. 1993 3.3 liter SFI, SBEC, oh, with AC, yes. Let's just do that. Fuel ignition. Let's read DTCs. O2 stays below center, lean. 7 starts since set. O2 voltage, shorted to voltage, 27 starts since set. O2 sensor shorted. Interesting. That's probably a problem. I think if we enter through, there was somewhere where I thought we could read. I might have to plug in on the inner computer too. But do we probably erase? Let's erase those. We saw those. Enter. Yes. Okay. Now what do I do? Enter. Mode. F2. Anything? Hello? There we go. Adjustments. Let's go look in there. I just want to look. Erase DTZs. Spark Advance. Ooh. You can adjust that? It's at 16 right now. Okay, let's not adjust that. How do I back out of there? Whoops. Don't do that. That. The menu button. You can do that. I didn't know that. Okay. Let's back out of here. Let's back out of here. Let's back out of here. Maybe body. I think I need to be plugged in on the inside of the vehicle. So I will go do that. I think the way you just shut this thing off, you just do that. So I'm going to go plug in to the connector below the center dash. I'll show you where that's at in a minute here. And I think that will let me talk on the bus. So we go over here, which will then let me talk to the modules in here. See that little plug down there? I think that's where we're going. So you guys are kind of learning with me here. Yep, there's our little plug. So actually I think I need to go get the other connector. Yep, I will be back. I think this is the plug we want. You know what's funny about that DRB2? Everything looked pretty nice condition except this plug. You can tell which plug was used. The trans plug and or I think the bus connector. So I wonder if this will get power fed to it through this thing then. Anyway, that plug's in there. So we unhook this right here. Let's get this shiny guy out of the way. And let's plug these two in. I think we'll go something. Can I do this one-handed? Can I do this one-handed? Give me a minute here. It does get power from there. So we're alive again. Eventually. I think that means it's talking. Maybe? I don't know. Select system. Body. What does that mean? Do I have to be over there? Is that the one I want to be plugged into? I don't know, actually. Menu. Maybe ABS? I don't think this has ABS, so. I don't know, does this thing have ABS? I don't think it does. Yeah, no response. So, yeah, that makes sense. How do I go home from there? Can I not go home? Did I brick it? Okay, yeah, well, we'll go plug in over there, and I think that might. All right, let's doing some diagnostics. This cord is heavily used. It's kind of iffy, so I'll have to hunt down another one of these cords. But I got it working right now, although I've got the 9193 chip. I don't know if this one will work. It's a 90 V6 LH, but we'll see. Otherwise, I'll have to get this one back. I just wanted to make sure the chip didn't quit or something. So we'll go down to body. Yep, this is the bus connector. There you go. So, ooh, cluster. So we have mechanical cluster. Info system, system test. Let's go to body computer. Read faults. No faults detected. There's an airbag light on. I don't know if this is how I get to the airbag computer. Let's do the mechanical cluster. Let's just see if we can do something. Read faults. Option is not available. Okay. System test. Okay. See, I don't know how to actually... Is it ABS? So I've been playing around with this thing for a little bit in there. I actually, it was fun. I didn't show you guys, unfortunately. I'll show you guys at some point. I was able to test all the gauges in the cluster. You could do all that stuff. I also enabled the auto locks on this, so when you're driving, it auto locks the vehicle. I enabled that because you can do that. You can do so many things with this thing. I got to do some learning. But I'm dumb, and we looked right past it. It's ABS and then passive restraint. There it is. Let's press enter. I bet we have codes. We don't have motorized belts. We have airbags. So enter. I think it's CCD. Is this a 94 Dakota? No. It must be SCI. I also figured out how to restart this thing. It's ATM and mode at the same time, I believe. So I don't need to unplug things. Be sure DRB is plugged into the correct connector. It should be. This should be the correct connector. No response. Maybe that's a sign of... Did I leave the key off? That might be part of it too. Wow, maybe it works now. No? Is it CCD? No. What do you mean? Maybe that's our problem. So I'm able to talk to it here through the SCI connector. So read codes. Active codes, no codes detected. Stored codes. Bingo! 6 codes. Front 2 sensors open. Squib open. 1 front sensor open. Warning lamp open. Internal diagnostic number 1. internal diagnostic 2. There we go. So no active codes, but a bunch of stored codes. So that's how, so we want to go to read, here, I'm going to start this from scratch. Okay, so how to read an airbag light on a 93 Plymouth Grand Voyager. We're plugged into the diagnostic connector down here, the SCI plug. We've got a DRB2 super cartridge from 94, and we've got, obviously, that connector. So we're going to go all the way down to select system, and we're going to go all the way down to passive restraint, and we're going to click airbag, and we're going to select SCI since that's the port we're plugged into, and it's going to boot up. And from here we can do tests, we can read codes. We'll go to read codes. Let's read no active codes. However, I do know if we go back, go down, go to stored codes, I do have 6 stored codes on right now, and we can thumb through these here. Now, what I think, and let's erase those codes now that we know what they were, and we'll see if anything comes back. Codes erased. That is how you read and erase airbag light on a 1993 Plymouth Grand Voyager with a ticking engine, you know, naturally. So now that we've read and erased all 6 codes, some of those might have been when I was messing with the clock spring, you know, and they might have come up as we were testing stuff with the horn. That might have been why, because we had the airbag removed to mess with the horn. I'm thinking that's where those stored codes came from. Now what I want to see is if any codes come back, and from there that might help us try diagnose what's going on with the airbag light, at least. For now, I think the blinkers and everything are working again. So I think there's just a shoddy wire under the dash, to be honest with you. Right now everything's working. I think I'm going to put it back together again and just ignore it for now. And I will work on the airbag light, which means I got to drive it until it comes on and then have that guy read our codes. But that is a huge advance in technology right there, being able to read and talk to all of the computers on this vehicle and read the airbag light. So that is a huge, huge, huge step up. Not 2 seconds after I unplug everything and start putting everything away, red light of death is on, so here we go. I literally just put this cover all back on. I was like, I guess I'll drive it. Oh, here we go. So let me hook this up, get that cable. That cable's kind of funny, so I'll have to start looking for another one of these cables. All right, let's go. Again. Passive restraint. Airbag. SCI. Read codes. Active codes. 1 front sensor open. 1 front sensor open. I'll have to refer to this manual and see what that means. But front sensor open kind of makes me want to think that the crash sensor is not working, because that's not the squib. Squib would be this. I'm trying to think of where the front sensor is on this. I don't quite remember off the top of my head. So let's pop the hood. But that might have something to do with it. I think it's this guy right here. I kind of just wiggled it. Airbag light's still on. I'm gonna look at this and just verify what this wants me to do, but that's telling me I think it's the front sensor. Here it says refer to passive restraint diagnostic test manual if any faults are found in steps 6 and 7. I gotta go see if I have that manual, because they're not gonna tell me how to diagnose it in here. However, 1 front sensor open tells me one of the front sensors is open. And I guess there's 2, which makes sense. There's a front left and a front right. Front left is obviously that one. Front right is obviously this one. So I'm not gonna unplug them or anything, because I think that's how you set the airbag off. But I will wiggle them because, well, what's worse that happens? I blow the airbag. But those are your 2 airbag sensors there. But I think we've got a problem with one of those. So next time I go to the junkyard, I think I'll have to get a hold of some airbag sensors. So that's the only code open. So we'll go down to stored. And there's no stored codes. Okay. So, don't do what I do, but I think I just figured out why the airbag light's coming on. So, what I did is I went and I didn't disconnect the battery like you're supposed to do. This is my airbag. I'm away from it. If it blows up, it is my fault. So, I unplugged this and I wanted to see if it would set a different code or not. When I did this one, it didn't set a different code. So I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe that sensor's got something to do with it. So we'll plug that back in, actually, now that I have an idea. Went over here, and so I'm working on disconnecting this code, and I'm looking at the colors of these wires. And it's a black with a blue stripe and like a tan. And I'm just looking around as I got my hands down here, so I got my face everywhere. And I'm looking over here. And you see this little connector here? It was kind of just... what caught my eye is the green just like that. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, wait, if I can see that green, that means that connector's not all the way in. And sure enough, I look at the little plug down there and it's not. And if you look, what are the colors of the wires on this that just so happen to go back into here? Weird. 2 of those colors match this, and the other 2 match that. The airbag light is going on and off because this connector was loose. Well, I'll be darned. So it would vibrate and then it would go on and off. So that right there is the main connector from the engine wiring harness to the airbag computer. And we just solved our airbag problem. That's why we saw the squib circuit. Well, the squib circuit and everything was related to me fixing the horn. But that's why we saw a fault for both sensors. 1 sensor open means left. I think 2 means this one. Judging on what I just did, because I had no airbag light, and then I unplugged that one, and then I had an airbag light for 1. And I bet you this is for 2. I bet you right now we have a stored code for 2, and I wonder if the airbag light just went out. The airbag light is the keys off, so. But I bet the airbag light goes off. Bingo. So let's go read active codes. No active codes. Let's go read stored codes. And we have 1 sensor open, 1 front sensor. So it didn't clear. Okay, so that's okay. But we just figured that out, I think. Well, you know what? I never had the key on when I had the other one unplugged. So what we're going to do is we're going to erase codes. And then I'm going to unplug the front right. And like I said, don't try this unless you're away from the airbag and you're willing to blow it up if it happens. For testing purposes, because I don't have the airbag restraint manual on me, I don't even know if I have it. I want to unplug this and see if it sets a different code. Because if this sets number 2 or the other code, then we know which is which, because it doesn't have a code number per se. But if I can get my hand down here, got it. I bet you that sets an airbag light. Bingo, airbag light on. Let's go active codes. Okay, 1 front sensor open could be either or. 2 front sensors means both are bad. Good to know. So, let's back out of that. Let's plug it back in. The light in theory should go off. And you know what's funny about this? That airbag could have gone off on me at any point, because what was happening is this was going on and off, on and off. As this was wiggling as I'm going down the road, it was constantly connecting and disconnecting these front sensors. So I'm currently way safer than I was while I was driving it, in theory. Most of the they say the whole airbag thing, in my opinion, this is my opinion here, to be extra super cautious and safe, which is a good thing because that could kill you if you're in the right circumstances. But I do not believe that they should go off if you just unplug them. What's going to do it is if you short them together, which if you had a bad wire down here and it comes loose, you go to unplug it, they short together, that's it. But if they never short together, I don't believe it would ever set it off in theory. So do this at your own risk. Like I said, I don't recommend I do not condone unplugging airbag system components with the battery plugged in, but I haven't died yet. So if I stop posting, the airbags got me. Big airbag got me. So active codes, we have no light on the dash again if we hit enter. So I'm your sacrificial airbag tester here. Stored codes, no codes detected, right? Did I go to stored? Oh, erased, yeah, we want to erase. And guess what? We have just solved our airbag light. It probably is unrelated to that whole fiasco, but that's okay. I'm going to put that all back together again. I think I'm going to drive this to work tomorrow. If I lose my blinkers, I lose my blinkers. At least I can still drive. If I lose my heater fan, I'll be a little cold, but at least I can still drive. We'll try it. Otherwise, we just solved our airbag problem. That is the first thing this DRB2 has successfully helped us with, and it helped us immensely. Because it ruled out the airbag itself because it was showing a sensor issue. And we just so happened to find the plug to the sensors was loose. Go me. Okay, well, we fixed the main airbag problem. However, the wipers go away problem is back. And then look, when I do that, the airbag light comes on. So we do have another issue. Ignition to run only low. That's interesting. Ignition to run only low. What does that mean? So that airbag code kind of tells me, that's the only code I can read off this whole thing, is it kind of tells me we got some sort of power issue up in the dash, which doesn't surprise me. It was pretty moist in here, so I'll have to dig into that a little more later. I've dug into it about as much as I want to, but hey, we did fix the main airbag issue. Extreme Off-Roading Plymouth Voyager Edition. Featuring airbag light. Extreme rock climbing. Rally autocross.
Where did we leave off on this? I think I gave up because we had issues with the blinkers and the blower motor quit work. I was driving it to work one day and they all quit, and the defrost. As you can see, all three work right now. We tried a few things. I definitely looked up a few things, but ultimately what it is there's an issue with this ignition switch. I popped that off and I wiggled the wires, and all of a sudden everything came back to life. So it's power through the ignition switch that's causing it to not work. So yeah, that's nice. I'm glad I fixed this. So I gotta put this van back together here. But I figure before we do that, or while we're doing that, there's something that we wanted to do here. And I believe, fire this thing up quick. We're at 156, 897. As you can see, that odometer has not moved very much in the last 4 months or so. 5, I don't remember anymore. You guys will know because it'll be in the video wherever I'm at. I think we want to see if this AC works, right? So I'm gonna go get some R134A. If I remember correctly, we resealed everything, so it should work. In theory, I figure we'll put 2 cans at it and we'll see what happens. It'd be nice to have AC, because then I might drive this. All right, what's the over/under on this working? This system has not worked in 20 years, at least. I should probably go see if it's turned on first. That was dumb. Try that. Did that kick on? I think it did. I think we missed it and it kicked on for a second. Maybe, yeah, there it goes, look at that. No way, it's actually gonna work. Ha. Yeah, there she goes. Awesome. Should, I believe, take 24 ounces, 2 cans. Should say it here somewhere. That's the pounds on it anyway, but I believe it's 24 ounces. That's unbelievable. Look at her spin. Can's getting cold, so. And since it's like 90 degrees out today, when we're ready, the pressure should be about 45, 50 on the low side. But yeah, it's 90 degrees, it's hot out today. Otherwise, it was like 70 or so, it should be about 35 or so, give or take. Obviously, we don't have a real set of gauges hooked to it, so we're not like properly doing it, but hey, I know the system's empty, so I don't care. And I know I put new gaskets on it, so it should be okay. Look at that. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'll let you know when I'm done.
Figured I'd get a quick video of this before it's gone. This one's actually sold. This is a 53 Willys Jeep that we rescued, I want to say a year and a half or 2 years ago. I don't know, it's pretty rough. Cracked back window, the seat's all tore out of it. But this used to be I think it was a national park truck back in the day. It, last I heard, it ran circa 2010, 2012. I think the hood's open. I was able to get it to spin over and it coughed. but starter's no good. It's got a 12-volt starter and 12-volt system, and it was converted to 12-volt at some point. Oh, I remember that now. Oh, I didn't cover the carb. Nice. Yeah, I had that apart. I cleaned that up a little bit, but the distributor, I was looking in there. The distributor is just a mess. It's in pieces inside of it. So that's no good. So it's not getting proper spark. But I had the engine free, and then I was spinning it over, and the starter she's had it. It needs to be rebuilt, I want to say. But it needs a good starter and a distributor. And I think the starter, if you went on like one of the Willys sites, was like $400. And then you went to go look at the distributor, and it was the same price. There we go. So you needed $800 in parts, which isn't bad, I guess. It's not too bad. It's got plates on it. It has a title. I think the title I signed over from the guy was from the 80s. Really old title. It's got the spare tire's in there somewhere, but it mounts right here. I think it was a green before, and then they painted it this orange. Yeah, there's the number of the truck. It's got a huge bumper on the front. All the headlights are all there, and I believe these worked actually. Blinkers all worked and everything. It's got a little bit of rust. It's not bad. A little bit in the cab corners and the rockers, but the floors are all there. I think this is all the parts for the 6-volt stuff. There's an extra valve cover in here. There's a manifold. I believe the 6-volt starter's in here somewhere too. Bunch of other brackets and stuff. Yeah, what were you? I don't know what that was. Anyway, it came with all kinds of crap, this box of stuff. I don't even know if all of this is for this vehicle or not, but all kinds of good stuff in here. But I want to come through here and make sure I didn't leave anything in it. Like this brand new oil filter that looks like it's been gotten into. Tell you, rodents, they're freaking lovely. Is this new plugs for it? Or did I put new plugs in it? I don't remember. Anyway, I just didn't have time for it, so it's going to a good home. Oh yeah, brand new plugs. I might hang on to those. What are they? R45s. I'll never have a need for this oil filter, so you can have the oil filter. I don't care about that. But I will keep the 1030 racing oil. I'll set that up here. And it had, this is the fuel tank for it I had out. The tank leaks. And it needs to be JB welded, and I think it's been JB welded before. But it leaks down by there's a drain petcock on it. Down there, and it leaks around there. And as you can see, it's been JB welded more than once. I think this is a custom, well, I know. Custom job. But, oh, catch myself here. Come here, little oil. This stuff's not cheap, so let it go for a good price, so I get to keep the oil. Yeah, no, it's pretty. I don't know, what was this? This is a 4-speed, or what was this? 3-speed, it might be a 3-speed. Reverse, where is it? Is reverse up and over? I don't remember. Anyway, it's something, but really cool. I think, what has it got? It says 90,000 on the clock. That's probably 90,000. Nothing fun in the ashtray, just a bunch of bolts. Light switch works. Choke's free. ignition all worked. All the electrical seemed to work. So, got a couple holes in the roof. I think that was like a, I don't know, a strobe light or something. Because, like I said, it was a government vehicle at some point in its life. And then I think it was a plow truck after that. So for a Minnesota plow truck, it ain't got all that much rust in it. What I want to do here. What are you? I kind of want to put this oil filter somewhere where he's not going to be destroyed. Yeah, it's like a canister filter. Kind of cool. Yeah. Surprisingly, all of those tires hold air. That one is a sketchy one, which is the lowest one. I don't took air in there. It's been sitting here in this shed for a while. It's gonna be nice to have the shed space back. But look at this one. Just good to go. So is this one. Yeah, and then there's the spare. I don't know, it's a cool truck, I think. Oh. I don't even remember what kind of engine is this. I think it's... Oh, there's our rodent. I just saw him scurry across. Yeah, is this a little four-banger of some sort? Yeah. I believe the radiator's full, or it was full. It doesn't leak at all. Can I get this to... I don't really have a good... Like, there's no hood hinges on it, so it... It's loose. Oh, it did drain out. That's unfortunate. Dang it. What you got down there? Oh, boy. I thought that it looks damp. I swear that it had coolant in it. But maybe not. Maybe not. I'm wrong, I guess. This should have been on top of the carb, I believe. Maybe? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why that never got put back on. My bad. Yeah, I think that flows into... What does that flow into? This thing? Whatever, it's on there. Now it's kind of protected. Yeah, I had that starter out. I took it apart. I cleaned the brushes up. I got it to come back to life a little bit, but it just was not having it. I mean, even with the plugs out and spinning it over, it just was not having a good time. Let's see if I have the distributor cap loose. Let's remember what the hell is going on in here, because I don't remember. What was it? Was it the points that were apart, or? Oh yeah. Yeah, the wires all inside here all corroded as hell. And what they were doing is they're arcing off the body, so it needs chunks of wire, and it needs new wires and stuff in here. Probably a good set of points, but yeah, this was all arcing off everywhere. That's what it was. And I'm sure you could address that. Probably take that apart, wrap that up, and put it back on. It'd probably be fine. And then, oh yeah, it's got a broken plug wire too. I remember that. Yeah. We just want to protect you. Go back on. Go back on for the next guy. So yeah, it needed distributor work, and that's pretty loose, actually. I don't like that. There we go. Yeah, and then, I don't know, what is this frayed? So that's temp sensor. That's the temp sensor wire. So it needs a bunch of wires to be rerun in it. Distributor work, probably just a new starter, or have that one sent off and rebuilt for the same price, I'm sure. And by new, I mean a nice remanned one. But I figure, because it, honestly, even with that being apart like it is, it coughed and sputtered. So I think it wants to run. You know, what little spark it was getting on one cylinder. So I think you get your distributor rebuilt. Here you get new points, new wires and everything inside of there. Probably a new plug wire. And then get that starter fixed, and it'd probably run. I think, if I remember, yeah, I think I put new fuel. This isn't new, but I think goes down to this hard line and back there, and then from back there I ran a new soft line, and I had it in a boat tank, and the fuel pump, I believe, worked. Let's see if I get the motor to spin. I think I put some transmission fluid in it before I put it away. Can I get any rotation out of that? I'll set you like on the fan shroud. That way I can put one hand on the belt and then one hand on the fan. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just a little bit of tension is all she needs. You can't see nothing, can you? Yeah, down there. Yeah, it's free. Anyway, it's free, it moves. So, that's cool. And I believe it had oil. Well, I don't believe, I know it had oil in it. Where is the dipstick? Let me try and remember that. This trying ain't working out so well. Where the hell was the dipstick? Oh, yeah, I see him. He's down here on this path on the passenger side. Yeah, this little guy right here. Yeah, and it's pretty clean oil too. And it's full right to the full line. Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it was green, so I want to say it was forestry or something. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, it was National Park Forestry, something like that. And then it became private owned. It was a plow truck forever, and then it was, I don't know, I think they cruised around a little bit. And then I want to say 2010, 2012, they parked it, and now it's here. Not for long. Get that out and down. I don't want to puncture anything with the hood prop. Let's see if we can, there we go. Yeah, on to the next guy. So we got it out. Now the next guy can put it back together. Oh, pretty cool. Yeah, there's that green. It's pretty cool. Pretty freaking cool. I don't remember. These windows were up, or was it stuck? Yeah, I think they were stuck down, which is why this is on it doing nothing. And what did it have? Like a radio or something there in the middle? Because what is it? It's got a fuel, oil, amperage, and temp. And then a little... Is this a tack or is this... That's a speedo, right? Nope, I think that's tack. That's broke. There. Spit shine. Yeah, I think that's tack. And then would you maybe have a speedo going across that way? I don't know. I don't know. Is that, what was this for? Was this for the top vent or something? I don't know. I'm not a, I guess, a Willys guy. It was just a cool truck, and the price was right at the time. 4-wheel drive. And it seems to all go into, like, the transfer case is free and everything, so. And I think the drive shaft U-joints were good. I think I was down there wiggling on it. Needs new shocks, but those are just any old Monroe Strutmatics or whatever you want to put in there. That ain't nothing. I believe these bushings, yeah, there's no bushing for the leaf shackles. Not the shackle, but just the end of the leaf. I don't know, what do you call that? Anyway, there's no bushings there, so that's going to be a rough ride. So it needs a suspension overhaul too, and all that good stuff. And it's a wiring, suspension, interior, and it needs a full restore or whatever you want to do. Like I said, the body's it's not bad. You know, what rust there is, it's still metal's just a lot thicker. Like you can't see the bed floor, but it's all there. The whole bed's there. I got a bunch of trim out of my O2, which used to be blue and it was rough, so I redid the interior and now it's gray. Well, I should show you guys that sometime. Show other random junk. Yeah, cool unit. Anyway, I wanted to show it before it disappeared. Also wanted to get my expensive racing oil out of it. That was supposed to go in it. It never did. So it's supposed to snow tomorrow. That means it's about the end of the season for these guys. So I'm kind of orienting them at how I kind of want to park them this winter. And so we've got Green Bean up front because Green Bean's got a leak in the roof somewhere. And then we got Blue Van in here in the shed as well because Blue Van. Duh. And then I learned my lesson parking them up in the yard last year. And that with the farmers took down a row of trees over there, and the wind coming through the front yard has increased tenfold. So we're gonna use my beautiful shed to kind of barricade them, and then we're gonna kind of pack them in here like sardines. So we got Gray Van taking up the rear here, or the front, I guess. Mostly because no reverse, so that's how we're gonna do it. And it will kind of roll back this way when I need to get them out. And then I got String Bean here in the middle, and then got a White Van driven straight in here. I would have loved to backed it in where it's at, but once again, it's got no reverse. So this will be a treat getting out. It'll take two of us. It's kind of downhill, but we got it sandwiched up here against the back of the tree here in the shed. But it's out of the way. I gotta get this branch up there. Come on. Go away. But I got them all running right now. Kind of brushing off some of this stuff from where they've been sitting. Well, this one's been sitting anyway. I should have covers for most of these. I think String Bean's cover bit the dust last year, like I said, because of that wind. But Gray Van's got a cover, Blue Van's got a cover. I think Green Bean had a cover, but Green Bean's in there, so I'm going to put that cover on this fan. And see what I can find. Well, we'll find something. I got covers. That's what I'm saying. So then I got to come up with a front cover here eventually. The snow's not going to stick this time, but it's getting about that time of the year. So I got to come up with a cover for this year too. These lawnmowers kind of need to vacate my garage because they're not mine. But whatever, they're in here for now. So these will kind of probably sit there for the year. This one I'm going to work on some more, so it doesn't matter if it gets covered anyway. Look at the paint. But that's where we're at right now. Figured I'd just to show you. I'll probably give you a peek here when I got the covers on them all. Ooh, that cover, or this mirror doesn't have a spring on it. Ooh. Oh, and this one doesn't open with the... Do these open with the door? I'm pretty sure they do. No, they don't. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, that one needs to stay out for now. let me through. We're in. Okay, this one can shut. See, that one's got a stopper on it. Ooh. Nice. Oh. Ouch. This is going to need to open back up, I suppose. But we'll get the passenger side ones. Gotta knock some of these leaves off. I had a storm yesterday, day before, blew just the leaves just absolutely everywhere. Okay, well, yeah, like I said, I'll bring it back here when I got a finished product. Alright, got blue van cover up. That tarp was still vacuum sealed. I knew I bought one, I just didn't remember. But yeah, that one fits pretty good. I got these from carcovers.com. And all you do is put your make model in, and they custom make one that fits your vehicle, and they work great. A lot of the time they come with a little piece here where you make a patch for your antenna, and then you kind of stick it on, your antenna flows through it. I've had issues with those tearing. And this one, I didn't see the kit. I don't know. Wasn't looking either. So I was planning on taking this off. So I just took the antenna off, threw it in the vehicle. And then we got Gray Van here all covered up. Gray Van does have a hole for the antenna. I don't think the patch is on there anymore, but there's a hole. And I learned after last year too, I had issues with the wind. I bought these clips they make for them in a kit. So they clip in here and they lock over the fabric, and then you get a bungee on either side. Got one on the front and the rear, and that'll keep these from pulling up. And that caused damage to this tarp, which is over a string bean here. As you see, there's a tear here, and the front got tore up pretty bad. But Dad came through with a sewing needle and some fishing string and sewed them back up. See, that was the antenna hole. I just ripped it right open. So the antenna got taken off there, and that's all stringed back together. There's a couple more rips here, but that one's got a strap on it now too. And then White Van here has got, this is the tarp for Green Bean, but like I said, Green Bean's in the shed, but they're both short wheelbases, so this one fits perfect. Same deal, it's got tarp over it, or got straps on front and rear. The Blue Van in the shed does not have straps. It's in the shed, so it'll be just a-okay. We're ready for winter weather. At some point, I gotta come take the battery probably out of the White Van, but these two, I leave the battery and I come and start them every month or so, let them run for 20-30 minutes. There's some back and forth on whether that does anything. I let them get up to operating temp, put it that way. I let them run up to operating temp and sit and idle. But these batteries, they don't go dead. I've never had an issue with them, and this one seems to be fine too. But that van back there, the battery goes dead in it. Has a drain, and Green Bean's battery is pulled. Green Bean doesn't get a tarp this year, but the battery's unhooked. It's not pulled, so I got to pull the battery out of that one and the White Van at some point. I think we're going to warm up a little bit. This snow's not going to stick, but it's coming anyway. So got to get the tarps on while everything's dry. That way, ideally, we don't get moisture up under here. And with the straps, snow won't blow up under there either now, and we'll be doing really good. Last year, I had issues, like I said. Mostly it was a lot of wind, but didn't have those. Those are necessary, very necessary. So, and the wind blows this way, so most of the time this shed will block all of it anyway. Yeah. All right, well, that's a quick video on that. Oh God, it's cold. I'm in a t-shirt right now, so there we go. Well, we did have these all winterized, and then the weather threw a curveball, and it's actually really nice out now. So what we're gonna do is drive a little string bean here once again. So yeah, got a little string bean out, so we're gonna drive her. It's 60s this week once again, and it's been 3 weeks since they put a little bit of salt on the road for that, and it's all pretty much gone now, so I want to take that risk anyway. So yeah, just a little update here. We're un-dewinterized. I gotta pull the cover off Gray Van, fire Gray Van up, and I think I'm gonna pull Gray Van forward, and then I don't have to. I got it out of here without moving it, so not that bad. I might leave it and then try parallel park string bean in. We can give it a shot. It's big enough space, but Yeah, got it out. AP March with the lawnmower is alive again. A little bit of bottle feed and she's running. And a jumper pack, obviously. Know that, right?
How many right now?
Huh?
You have how many right now?
So I got 5 caravans.
Yeah.
I've got a truck.
Okay.
I've got a car. Big trailer, naturally.
Okay, so if you do take that one too, then you would literally double your caravan.
I don't need the 4th gen, but
But if it doubles your count.
oh god, I got rid of a 97 this spring. I got rid of an 02 last fall. But, you know. So now we got a 3rd gen here. Hey, you know what's funny? The 2nd gen rims are on this one right here.
That's funny.
So he took the tires off of this and put them on that one.
I remember Don like
Oh, it opens.
didn't drive that fast,
Right.
but then like
So this one's a 2000, so it's a last year 3rd gen.
okay. So is that last year a Plymouth then?
Yes. Actually, no. 99 was. So this, what they would do in 2000 is their Chrysler.
Oh, this is the Chrysler
Is
Voyager.
it a Voyager?
Yep.
Oh, it is a Chrysler Voyager.
Grand Voyager.
Ooh, SE.
Damn, 2 sex editions.
Power everything in this one. This got overhead console. This one's fancy. I hate the color on the interior though. It's that beige yellow. It's so disgusting. But the steering wheel's not that wore. I doubt this one's got all that many miles on it.
You know, this one might be the one that's got under 100.
I would, if I had to say,
Because it broke a camshaft.
so he's got a little checklist of notes here. He's looking at the ECU, the map sensor. He's checked the coils, cams, position sensor, crank sensor. So this thing don't run.
Yes, it's a broken camshaft.
Really? So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So parts or a motor. Because this one ain't that rusty. This rocker's starting to go. I don't know what that side looks like.
In the weeds though, the floor pan goes to just random holes.
Yeah. I've had luck patching the small little pinholes with like epoxy. Like the epoxy Bondo. But yeah, see, this ain't that bad. The door's shot because it fills the cavities of the doors. But you're pushing your luck on this one here.
Yeah.
Nope, this lock is stuck.
Yeah.
This lock is stuck. But I think some of these are the Voyager rims on that one.
Okay.
It's got a tow hitch on it and everything.
Yeah, Don put a fucking hitch on everything. He's got a hitch on his Subaru Outback.
Oh
right now.
god. So I want to pop the hood.
6-cylinder though, at least.
The worst spot of rust you're gonna find on these is not the floors, not the rockers. It's gonna be the shock towers. Well, in theory, it's popped. If those are gone, I'm not. It's starting to go. It's not that bad. That's not that bad. That's not. You could plate. They make the plates for
Yeah, they
those.
make the-
And
yeah, I've
especially
seen
when
it.
this is solid, you just rivet into it. You're fine.
You got a welder?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's a nice Lincoln welder.
I was gonna say,
I would weld
if you're
it.
talking about fucking
Well,
riveting and then epoxy and floor, you know.
But
like,
what
damn,
I'm-
you gotta get welder.
What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
it's really easy just to rivet
Oh
it.
yeah.
That's really easy, but yeah. So it's 3.3
I
again.
wouldn't doubt if this is the one that's got under 100K because like that engine looks clean.
Based on what I'm seeing in the steering wheel, based on what I'm seeing on the lack of rust, I would buy under 100K.
Yeah.
But I want to see if that transmission's got a sticker on it, if it's been done or not. But I don't think it has. But it's a 2000, so this is probably the bulletproof one. By 2000, they figured them out.
Okay.
By 2000, they don't drop diff pins.
Just in time to discontinue it.
Well, they put them in the 01s through 07s
Weren't
still.
they putting that in the fucking
2010 was
Journey?
Yeah, I think they were. The Journey and
With the 4-cylinder.
all the Sebrings and stuff.
Yeah.
All the Neons had a version of this trans.
Yeah.
So it was a really good transmission. Everybody knocks on it because it's a Dodge, but
It's been sitting here without any... Oh wait, no. I thought those were
oh,
injection
this one's got a hood light. None of mine I found have a hood light. You know, they're great at night. I'm not gonna lie to
Oh,
you.
yeah. Yeah, it's a Chrysler, so you are gonna be in there.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all. It's got a new shift solenoid in it. That's for sure. So
Oh yeah, another Dodge that's here. There's a Daytona.
is there a Daytona?
Yeah.
Oh, those are cool. Yeah, it's funny is I've looked by this one as I drive by this way. I hate that double colored pinstripe. That's the
what I mean
ugliest
with
thing
the
ever.
taxi.
Uh oh.
You locked it?
Uh oh.
That means it must have. Well, there's keys in the barn, but like.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess we're looking this way. I don't see a reman sticker on it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's got 10 piles of, 10 inches of grease on it. The VIN number on this transmission ends in a 365. That's the original transmission. That's the original transmission. Not to say it hasn't been rebuilt,
Right.
but it's the original transmission. That was a good one. Was. Yeah, see, this one's got rust halfway up the doors. Oh my God. Oh, you've hurt the value of it so much. Yep. And it doesn't even have any Bondo in it. It's original rust. Was. Oh my. Yeah, this one's pretty. I've seen them rusted this far.
That's why I have so much iron in my water.
Yeah. Oh, so it's funny. Shock towers are decent on this one. The 4th gens don't really rot out. They fixed it by then. But, as rusty as it is, it would still go down the road just fine. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is it worth it to do that? Probably not. Will it? It could.
Yeah, I remember Don drove this. So, and then Don had a 5th gen too. That I think might be in his garage. No, I think he might have sold it. I hope he sold that. I hope it's not just sitting in his garage.
It's crusty. It's not that bad under there.
Yeah. So he had a 5th gen that was like, and that was sitting here for a while too. You probably saw it was white.
I might have.
And then and he was driving this. Some miles off that. And it's like, done. Come on. Like,
To be fair, if this one still runs, I'd keep the miles off the other one too. That's just me.
like, it wasn't that nice though.
This
it was just like a better place to be that had air conditioning and shit. Like,
Oh, this doesn't have AC or anything?
I don't remember, but like,
But,
I'm sure the newer one had better.
this is a Sport. It's got a rear sway bar and everything in it. The nice aluminum wheels at one point.
So Sport actually did something? I thought Sport was like their base trim.
No. Sport gets you the rear sway bar.
Okay.
Fancy pinstripe. Well, I don't think these are original,
I think this is Taxi Stripes.
but sometimes they'll come with the fancy pinstripes and stuff. 3rd gens gave you a spoiler back here. And I think you get an upgraded front sway bar.
Okay.
But also the 16-inch aluminum wheels. So you do get something for Sport.
Aluminum wheels, like, God damn, they're ugly.
And it's definitely not an 04. It's an 1 to 03 based on it's got
Okay, I was just guessing because like this generation, like with the,
if you see the little overhead, like they call it an eyelid where all your hazard lights are.
Yeah.
01 to 03.
Okay. I just knew it was like this front end, but
Yep. Yep.
not like the really roundy. Like,